Welcome back, Bears. It's Sarah Vigliotti and
Zoe Sauvé
here with the November edition of the BDN News.
We had so many stories last month, and we're back with the best news in all of Chittenango.
To start us off, over the summer, 3 fantabulous ladies attended the New York State Summer School for the Arts. Our students had to apply for the intensive 6-week program, which was held at Skidmore College.
And they earned college credit for it, too. To learn more about this program, we decided to talk to the 3 students that attended, Skylar Byrne, Brooke Cullen, and Erin Horzempa.
Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm here with Erin Horzempa, who went to a very rigorous music camp over the summer. Erin, you care to tell us about it?
Yeah, so we played for about 8 hours a day. We had a 3-hour rehearsal in the morning and then some chamber ensembles at night. And it was kind of rough, but it was fun. So I liked it.
Oh, fun. Now, the other 2 that went, they went for dance, but you went for, I'm guessing, orchestra, right?
Yeah.
Like, not just music, but like orchestra specifically.
Yeah. Yep.
And you played violin or viola there?
Violin.
Violin, okay.
Yep.
So I know you do both.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, that sounds like fun to me. Our next story involves Chittenango's Double Down team.
Zoe, that sounds great, but what is the Double Down team?
Well, the Double Down is a local TV quiz show done through WCNY. Our team won a qualifying match that allowed them to compete in a final match.
Oh, thanks, Zoe. On October 23rd, Matt Treese, Kaylee Paul, and Ellie Knox competed in this quiz show. They dominated most of the game, but lost in a close final round.
Wow, Sarah, you sure know a lot about who competed despite not knowing what Double Down was. Regardless, we are so proud of our team for getting this far. Our next story involves some Crunch players that visited CHS this month through the French program.
On November 7th, Daniel Westcott and Oliver Archambault from the Syracuse Crunch spoke to about 45 high school and middle school students about hockey, learning a language, and cultural differences.
Thanks a ton to the players who came. We are glad to have such great opportunities to learn at Chittenango.
I'm glad to present our next story regarding the fall play. I myself got to participate in this spectacular play, Zoe.
Oh, yeah, and you were fantastic. We have one of the actors from the play, Abby Austin, here to tell us about it.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was extreme. The fall play, the Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon, was just recently performed on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of November. The comedy performance of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales came to life on stage this year. The classic stories of Rapunzel, Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, and many, many more were featured in this outstanding production. Don't worry, there were no crab people. Our senior students, Autumn Cummings, Justin Fuchs, Dana Kraus, Mia Morgillo, Aiden O'Connor, Nick Thurber, Matt Treese, Annie Vigliotti, and Ryan Westcott stole the show and dazzled the audience for their last fall play of their high school career. We thank everyone who came to see the show and hope to see everyone and more next year.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. I'm really sad that the play season had to come to an end, but I'm really glad that I got to be a part of it.
What's our next story, Sarah?
You should know. It's Allstate.
Oh, of course, how can I forget?
We'd like to congratulate juniors Jonah Griffiths,
Michael Mariani,
Andrea Stanek,
and Riley Weaver, who were selected to participate in the highly prestigious 2018 New York State School Music Association Winter Conference.
It's a 4-day festival held in Rochester, New York from the 29th of November to the 2nd of December.
Mike, Andrea, Riley are very talented vocalists, will be part of the mixed chorus, and Jonah is an alternate for the orchestra. Super impressive.
It's even more impressive when you know how they got in. They had to participate in last spring's NYSSMA festival by preparing and performing a solo. And since they did a specific Allstate audition, they had to perform that solo with a piano accompanist in front of a very harsh judge.
They based that score out of 100 on everything from basic rhythm and tone to the higher level musicality and interpretation of your performance.
If you do well in front of that judge, as Michael, Riley, Andrea, and Jonah have, you, like them, could be chosen to participate in the prestigious NYSSMA Allstate groups.
There, they spend 3 days rehearsing with world-renowned conductors and work with the finest musicians in New York State. At the end of it all, they perform a concert at the Eastman School of Music. Hey, Sarah, did you know that the Eastman School of Music has an acceptance rate of about 13%? It's a really good school.
I didn't. That's an interesting piece of trivia. Speaking of that, here's Jake with last month's trivia answer and this month's question.
Welcome back to the BDN News Trivia segment. I'm your host, Jacob Bose. It's finally the holiday season. With the holiday season here, get ready for all good conversations with your family that you haven't seen here. Here's a fun challenge. Try to see how long dinner can last before someone starts talking about politics. It's not as funny as you think. Let's review last month's question. The question was, how much money will Americans spend on pumpkins in 2018? Senior John Olmsted was the first to submit with the correct answer, $575 million. That's a lot of pumpkins. Way to go, John. This month's question will get you opening your history book. Think turkey now. What was the name of the pardoned turkey in 2003? You know the turkey that lived. Was it Charlie, Stars, or March? Make sure you tune in to next month for the answer in another of my awesome trivia questions. Back to you, Bearden.
Thanks, Jake. Tune in next month to find out the answer.
And now, the alumni shout out with Riley and Brooke. Take it away, girl.
Hello, everyone. You are back with myself, Riley Ellis, and
Brooke DeFlorio. Today we have a very special alumni who you see almost every day.
Mr. Collar is Chittenango High School's security guard and fall-day tech instructor. He graduated in 1989 with the bragging rights of getting 100 on a math regents when they were harder and you weren't allowed to use a calculator.
Whoa. Mr. Collar is one of the nicest guys you will ever know. However, he joined the military at his rebellious stage. And he turned out to be a great follower of the rules in the military, with the exception of not liking to travel.
He's a fun guy, enjoying kayaking and fishing while owning 6 kayaks.
Living on a farm with 4 cats and 20 chickens, which one of his cats loves to live in one of their 2 barns. And once, he saved bunnies, baby bunnies, from a lawnmower.
Mr. Collar is also very funny. He knows a bunch of old dances like the foxtrot. I bet a lot of you don't even know what that is. My point exactly. Also, Mr. Collar is great at a bunch of voices, and I'm sure if you asked politely, he would show off his skills.
Mr. Collar is truly amazing, and he does not get enough thanks. We thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for all you do for us, and we always wish you the best.
Well, that is all for this month from the 2 of us.
We will see you next time with next month's alumni shout-out. Adios!
Thanks, guys. And now we're going to turn it over to Sydney with sports.
Glad it's you and not me, Sid.
Since last month, our boys and girls cross-country teams competed in sectionals, earning 6th and 5th places respectively. Hannah Kellogg had her own swimming success, leading her team to a sectional championship and heading to the state meet to finish 28th with her 400 free relay team. With fall sports coming to a close, a new winter season is upon us, with new teams and new opportunities for success in Bear Country. Our boys and girls basketball teams look to capture sectional titles after both competing in playoff rounds last season, while the girls volleyball team hopes to take home a 3rd sectional championship in a row. With your sports news from Bear Country, I'm Sydney Pellman. Go Bears.
Well, Sarah, I believe that wraps up this edition of Bear Den News.
Indeed it does. Tune in next month to get the latest Bear news.
I'm Zoe Sauvé.
And I'm Sarah Vigliotti. Go Bears!
Okay, we're done.
We should.
Welcome to this special edition of Bear Den News. I'm your anchor and beloved student, Zoe Sauvé. This month, we have a lot of interesting stories, including things like, does Annie Vigliotti like to record me without my consent?
Yep. That's an easy one.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was extreme. The fall play, the Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon, was just recently performed on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of November. The comedy performance of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales came to life on stage this year. The classic stories of Rapunzel, Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, and many, many more were featured in this outstanding production. Don't worry, there were no crab people. Our senior students, Autumn Cummings, Justin Fuchs, Dana Kraus, Mia Morgillo, Aiden O'Connor, Nick Thurber, Matt Treese, Annie Vigliotti, and Ryan Westcott stole the show and dazzled the audience for their last fall play of their high school career. We thank everyone who came to see the show and hope to see everyone and more next year.